The village of Dariba was the kind of place where secrets lived longer than people. Old houses leaned on each other like tired ghosts, and narrow streets twisted like veins through the heart of the town. But the oldest secret of all stood at the far end of the village, an abandoned stone well wrapped in thorny vines. People called it the Whispering Well. Children were warned never to go near it. Elders avoided even mentioning it at night. But no one ever said why. They only whispered, "Don't wake what sleeps inside." 17-year-old Rahim never believed in village stories. He thought people used fear to control others. So the night his friend Sajid dared him to visit the well, Rahim smirked and said, "Fine. Let's see what your ghost can do." The sky was unusually dark that night, as if the moon had abandoned the world. The wind moved strangely, silent, cold, almost expectant. Rahim and Sajid walked through the sleeping village, their flashlight cutting a thin line through the darkness. When they reached the field where the well stood, Sajid stopped. "I'm not going with you," he whispered. "Coward," Rahim teased. "Stay here and watch." Rahim stepped toward the well. Vines twisted around its stones like skeletal fingers. An icy smell, a mix of rotting leaves and something metallic, hung in the air. The moment Rahim touched the cold stone edge, he felt a vibration under his palm, like something breathing. He shook it off and leaned over the opening. It was so dark he couldn't even see the bottom. "Hello?" he called jokingly. His voice echoed, once, twice. Then a third echo came back slower. "Hello?" But it wasn't his voice. Rahim froze. He turned to look at Sajid, but his friend looked confused, terrified. "I didn't say anything," Sajid whispered. A faint whisper rose from the pit. "Rahim?" He stumbled back. A cold shiver ran down his spine. "Who's down there?" No answer, just breathing. Wet, rattling breathing. Suddenly the vines around the well shifted, slithering like snakes. Rahim stepped back again, but something icy wrapped around his ankle. When he looked down, his blood turned to ice. A pale, bony hand was crawling up from the darkness. "Run!" Sajid screamed. Rahim kicked free and sprinted, but behind him, something was climbing out. Slow, dragging itself, its nails scraping stone like knives. The boys didn't stop running until they reached Rahim's house. They locked the door and collapsed on the floor, gasping. "What did you see?" Sajid asked. Rahim didn't answer. His mind replayed the image. The long skeletal fingers, the sunken skin stretched like wet paper, the eyes that weren't eyes at all, just black holes. That night, Rahim couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard it again. "Rahim, come back." He stuffed his ears with cotton. Still the whisper came. By dawn, he had made a decision. "I have to go back," he told Sajid. "It's calling me." Sajid tried to stop him, but Rahim's eyes looked strange, darker, hollow, as if something inside them wasn't fully human anymore. He walked back to the field alone. The well looked different in daylight, calmer, almost harmless. But when Rahim approached, the wind stopped. The birds went silent. The world seemed to hold its breath. "Why me?" Rahim whispered. A voice rose, not from the well, but inside his mind. "Because you listened." Rahim sank to his knees. His fingers trembled as he touched the stone. The whisper grew louder, warm, hypnotic. "Let me out. Set me free. I will show you wonders." Rahim's hands moved on their own. He began tearing away the vines. The stone felt warm now, as if something beneath it was alive, pulsing. Footsteps came behind him. "Rahim, stop!" It was Sajid, panting, terrified. Rahim slowly turned. His eyes were no longer brown. They were pitch black. A thin smile stretched unnaturally across his face. "It wants to come out," Rahim said softly, "and I belong to it." Before Sajid could move, something burst from the well, a shadow rising like smoke, but moving like a creature. It wrapped around Rahim, and he didn't scream. He laughed. The shadow sank into him, disappearing under his skin like ink in water. Rahim stood still for a moment, then lifted his head slowly. When he spoke, his voice was layered, half Rahim, half something ancient. Thank you for bringing me back. Sajid stepped back. Rahim, please. Rahim tilted his head. He's gone. Sajid ran. He didn't look back. That night, the villagers heard knocking on doors, soft, polite, rhythmic. When they opened their windows, they saw Rahim walking through the streets with a slow, unnatural smile. His shadow moved differently from his body, stretching long fingers across the walls. One by one, the knocking continued. And far in the fields, the old well finally went silent, because the thing inside it was no longer sleeping. It was walking.